And he's like, I'm the wiper.
I wipe.
I'm the wiper.
Yeah.
I change the channels for him.
Yeah, like, because I mean, Prince Charles has those people.
I program his Roku.
Like, what does popes do all day?
They
pray. They read Bible.
Monks. They're not monks.
They read
There's only so many
Bible?
times. Like, eventually, you got that. It's not that long of a book where you don't have to memorize at this point. He's like 105. Like,
He does his Tai Chi at 3, I guess. He does
He has
his
a
real hot yoga at 5.
He has piano lesson at 6.
where he like instructs someone else. Not
He's
hit the
basically
ski.
15.
It's like, I mean, there's certain jobs. Well, I mean, granted, he had to give up sex his entire life.
Well,
so
that's a job within itself.
maybe he deserves to be wiped. Get a little bit of action.
Listen, you've kept it in your pants your whole life. I'll wipe your butt. It's fine.
So, I mean, it's like, it's Ken doll down there. It's like useless. There's nothing. So, like, maybe like being wiped just,
It's Ken doll?
Yeah.
Are we really going that far?
I don't think it's Kindle.
Like at one,
Do you think he manscapes?
like at a certain
I don't think he's
point,
ever seen his own penis.
like at a certain point, his penis just disappears in the night. It just packs its bags and leaves.
well, no, I mean,
I see where this is going. You're going to be a priest.
like,
Yeah, I'm out.
he definitely does not pee standing up. So I'm saying, like, the Pope is definitely a sitter.
Why?
This is such a weird conversation.
Why is he standing up? Why?
Because like he has never touched his penis, seen it or anything. It's just like to him, just like limp flesh down there that just he pees from. Like that's its purpose.
Do you think he's ever had that moment of discovery like we had when we were kids? Like, what's that?
I think it probably happens like really late in life, and then he's like, but it's always just been like the Ken doll to him. He's like just sits down to pee.
Do you think it's like a really late discovery and he's like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, and like he prays on it. Like, dear Lord, help me. Oh, hold on.
Oh, stand by.
Rockin' ears for 40 years. You're tuned in to WUTK in Knoxville, Tennessee. Donate to our 40 for 40 campaign today at WUTKradio.com on the Support WUTK tab. You'll be glad you did.
Man, see, like right there,
And that right there, how
Pope
much
penis could not have handled that kind of.
that voice would have
Yeah.
been like, he would have been like, ah.
It's coming to life again.
No pun intended. How much do you think the wiper gets paid?
I would say like a lot, honestly.
Or does anybody
They're
get paid?
old, well,
I feel like you
Do
just
they
get
get
free.
paid?
You get free lodging at the Vatican.
well, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Are wipers priest or not? Because like I don't know if his attendants aren't in priest gear,
Right.
so like they're not wearing the uniform.
He just wears a T-shirt.
Well, no, they're dressed nice. They're dressed like Alfred from Batman.
Like,
So like.
like their robe should have like Lieutenant Johnson or something.
So, like, maybe they are normal people. And so, like, yeah, then they would get paid.
Okay.
So, I mean-
they're commoners, would you say?
Well, not commoners, because, like, they're Alfreds.
Alfreds are commoners. They just
No, like, they're like,
they wipe the booty.
yeah, but they're like, they're not commoners.
You're a
because they're,
commoner
like,
if you're wiping the booty.
no, they're like bred to be these, like,
We're really fleshing
high-powered
out
servant
this
people.
fantasy.
We're
aren't we?
gonna get through this.
Like,
We're really fleshing out this idea, aren't we?
Speaking of flesh,
you've been trained.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was great. And that's labeled rim shot.
like, they've been trained. They've spent their lives learning to
To
wipe
wipe.
Pope butt.
Okay.
Like, it's
So
like
they
it's like
were-
a legacy.
They're bred to wipe Pope butt. is what
Yeah,
you're
like,
saying.
it's like a legacy.
Okay.
What if all this and he just uses a bidet?
Maybe.
They're very popular in Europe.
That's a hole in. That's a hole.
But at the
in our
same time, that's not
conspiracy
going to always do what you need it to do.
No, it doesn't
That's-
always get you clean.
That's a hole in our conspiracy theory.
A hole in the conspiracy theory.
No, because,
Yeah.
like, you have to remember,
Major
like,
flaw.
the popes have been poping since, like, when they still had pots. So, like, there's an official wiper.
Pots,
Like chamber pots.
the chamber pots. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like when they used to, like, throw their poop out the window.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
really don't know. When was Vatican
why-
City constructed?
I never understood a long time ago.
It was
like, it went-
it was when the single or not single. Was it single digit years?
No, because you went from Rome to France to Rome again
Yeah, it was in the like the hundreds.
in the Crusades.
Yeah. So before year
I think it
1000.
was after the Crusades.
Was it?
Yeah, because like after the Crusades, they went to France, and then they
My
were like,
tiny little nipples went to France too.
they were like, you're taking way too much of our money, and you're all Goldie, and
Well, the first pope, of course, was Saint what's his face, right? The
I don't know.
Saint Peter, the dude that's supposed to be at the gates of heaven.
Okay.
List of popes. This isn't help.
No, like Pope locations.
Oh, well, we'll get to that. Well, the first pope was Saint Peter, and he was pope from 64 to 68.
So he was like double
Not
digit.
1964.
No,
just 64.
No, 64.
The year
Just
64 to 68.
I know.
Yes,
I'm just
literally
kind of a
64 to
smart
68.
alecky comment for our listeners.
No, it was great.
When I hear 64 in that context, I'm usually talking to somebody who's referencing Nam. This is all.
Oh, back at like Da Nang.
Back in 64, just 64.
Just
Yeah, I was elected pope.
You know, you can't. Can we do that now? Because we're now in years where you can't do that. If you say back in 22,
We can say 64.
well, we can still say 64, but you can't say.
No one's ever said 22 though.
I guess not.
Back
Or-
in 22,
or
back in the
23.
20s.
back
we're in the 20s
They say
right
back
now.
in the 20s, like which 20s? Well, obviously the 1920s, but
I've heard people say the 2010s, so
the 20. But see, that's a thing.
yeah.
There was
so,
the
I
19.
mean, they specify that.
But there's the 1910s and the 2010s. Now we're in the decades where you call them the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. Are we going to do? Can we nonchalantly do that now?
I think we gotta wait till we get mid-century
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like mid-century is when you like do the flip. I think.
I don't know.
because that's when
like you have to wait for
the
the
next
generations.
generation.
Yeah. So what you didn't find it out?
Oh, where it was located? No, I was more interested on when the popeship started, which was 64.
I wanted to know when it like went back to the Vatican because like I remembered that they went to France and then they were like, "You're taking all our money," and the Pope was like, "Ha ha, I'm rich," and the French people were like, "Get out," and he left.
I always found it weird that was where the Vatican, like the Vatican was always in European nations and not in the Middle East, or well, no, it wouldn't be Egypt because that not a whole lot, but like Jerusalem, like why wouldn't the Pope be there?
in there because like that's like we don't want to realize that Jesus isn't white and blue-eyed, and so
We don't want reality.
so it's like note Rome.
Mm.
Okay, so it's 1309 to 1376. They had 7 successive popes, which wow, that's like a lot.
That's a lot of popes for
Yeah.
that many years.
That's when they moved it to France out of Rome, and then they were like, "Get gone," and then they moved it back.
So until the 1300s, it was in France. No, it was in Italy. It was in Rome.
Yeah.
And then they went to France with their tiny little nipples. And then they came back after France was like, get out.
Yeah, because they were like, "You're taking too much of our money," and so like their king was like, "We don't want you anymore," and so they were like, "All right, we'll go back to Rome," and they just grabbed all their gold and left and
That's how it works.
went and got their pope shoes.
And then found the guy that would wipe their butt.
Yeah, but no, they've already had wipers then. Like the wipers. Went,
This is a lineage.
Yeah, the wipers went from Rome
Oh my God.
to Paris
Oh my
to
God.
to Rome again.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're born into the wiping
This
position,
this is a lineage.
and like as
of
you grow
wiping.
up, they're
My
teaching you the
daddy
proper
was
ways.
a pope wiper. My daddy's daddy was a pope wiper.
They teach him like don't look him in the eyes.
Right. Well, you don't want to while you're wiping them. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, but they're like just that whole thing. Like just
Did they wipe the dribble off the front too? Like
well, yeah, because like
TT time?
again he sits, so yeah, like someone's got to. Like he does not. The Pope does not recognize his genitalias. I'm betting money on this.
Well, we've given you a lot to think about and discuss this amongst yourselves while we go back to the music.